Hello everyone, and welcome back to Kinkoi, Reina's route. My leg!
How's the leg?
Painful!
骨折とかは一切なし。内身だかなんだか。
Okay, well, maybe not that painful.
痛みもほぼ消えた。ほれ。
Ria jumped and bounced in place, but not really. She was all better now? Thank goodness.
たく、どいつもこいつも心配しすぎなんだよ。
I mean, you couldn't walk back on your own, so I feel like that's a valid concern.
Yeah, they sure do.
てめえが一番だよ。てめえのお姫様抱っこが全ての始まりだろうが。
Well, we tried carrying you like Yoda and it didn't work.
No, we never tried it because it's not a good idea.
Well, yeah, that's true because she had put it out there and we were like, no, that's just gonna put more strain on your leg.
Sorry.
たく。まあ、とにかく、心配かけた。
Yeah.
She was a courteous person, all said and done, and had come to tell me that first thing in the morning. I genially heard her out.
Is what she told me.
うん。さっきうちにも来た。
That confused me, actually, because I was like, what? And I was like, oh no, it's just...
It was a recap, yeah.
Yeah.
It was kind of a weird recap, though. Weird transition.
I'm the one who got put off for later?
And went to tell Reina, but she seemed to already know. Oh, this is going to be the episode of weird segues. I can see it now.
実は前々から思ってたけど。
You've been thinking about the weird segues too? Weird.
リアちゃんって結構いじりやすい。
She's a difficult person to approach, but she's still a good person.
仲良くなれそう。
You can try.
Be careful not to be too obnoxious. She is fairly antisocial.
She was also liable to avoid Sylvie due to her past, which could complicate things with Reina given how close they were.
I don't know why I imagined Reina as, Dee Dee from Dexter's Laboratory.
Get out of my laboratory! You know what? Actually, that I feel like fits kind of well. Except
it kind of does, right?
She's smarter than Dee Dee, but I could absolutely see her going in and just messing with stuff just to mess with other people.
はーい。
She confirms it. In that respect, it should be fine since Reina was considerate of people's boundaries. Oh, well, maybe not then. Maybe she's the opposite of Dee Dee.
あ、そういえば私とオーロには来たけど、あやかっちにはちゃんと伝えたのかな？
I have the suspicion that Jogasaki approached her first.
Now that you mention it.
てかそれ以前に、あやかっちとリアちゃんって仲良かったんだね。
Do you think they're close?
Jogasaki and Ria. I knew they were acquaintances, but I had no idea how close they actually were.
昨日も夕飯一緒するつもりだったみたいよ。
Huh? They're that close?
夕飯一緒にって入ってきて、で、私がリアちゃんを襲ってるとこ見られて、キレられた。
The fact that she classifies her own thing as assaulting.
Huh. Dinner.
I ignored all of that assault business. Well, we didn't.
They do sound reasonably friendly.
Not even I had eaten a meal with Ria. If that was part of their everyday routine, then it meant she ranked more highly in Ria's mind than me, if nothing else. It was hard to believe that there was someone that unrelenting loner was closer to than myself. Actually, I feel like it's not that hard to believe. We kind of invited ourselves into the situation.
Yeah, but like, if you look at it from his perspective, the fact that it's Jogasaki would be shocking.
Well, and he also at this point doesn't know the Maria Ria situation.
Yeah, he has no idea. So from his angle, it's just, oh, here's this girl who hates commoners and anyone who doesn't fit in, and then she's close friends with the most antisocial outcast, who's also a commoner.
And a delinquent. Yeah. No, wait. The more pressing question was, Jogasaki got along with a delinquent like her? There it is. With that on my mind.
幼馴染なのよ。
Oh god, where did you come from?
You remember we were telling scary stories, and we talked about if you just appeared behind someone, it'd be scary?
Yes. Ayaka turned up out of the blue.
あの子はあの通りの問題児だけど、こっちとしても縁があるから、そのまま退学になられると微妙。
Of school or existence?
それで目をかけてあげてるんです。それだけよ。でも。なーに？いや、なんでもないです。
I don't like the look in her eye. Her phrasing made it sound like she was hiding something, but the way Jogasaki cut her off made it seem like she wouldn't allow any further questions. But what?
You two were childhood friends?
小中学と一緒。
She actually attended school?
Ever? I'm her childhood friend too, actually.
Maybe we can get along.
聞いてますよ。キャンプで一緒だったんでしょ？
You knew about that?
オーロ、リアちゃんと幼馴染なん？
Oh yeah, that's right. You weren't in the loop of that.
Oh right, I guess you haven't known that in this timeline.
Yep.
The kind that met once anyway.
おお、いいじゃんいいじゃん。結婚の約束がデフォでついて回るやつじゃん。
Actually, that was a different person.
Yeah.
See, that sounds great in theory, but nothing like that happened.
That we remember. I hadn't even remembered her, to be perfectly blunt. Additionally, Reina would eventually piece together the connection between Sylvie and Ria if this topic continued. Better switch subjects.
By the way, Jogasaki, were you at that camp?
あ、その可能性もあった。どうな、あやかっち。それで実は昔のオーロと結婚の約束とか。
Nope.
Ayaka's like, I would rather commit seppuku.
I wasn't allowed to go to that camp. She sure did love that particular setting.
私は参加していません。厳密には参加する予定だったのですが、1日目にいたずら好きな男子たちにいじめられ、暴行され、湖に蹴り落とされて、泣いて家に帰りました。
Okay, now that's news to us.
Yeah, I did not know that at all.
Because we found out on Sylvie's route that she didn't attend the camp for reasons. But now we know the reason. Little mini tirade here. If there was such a particular reason for playing the routes in a certain order, I feel like they shouldn't really have given us that much of a choice.
Well, one of our commenters did mention that because Sylvie's gives away so much of what happens in all of the other routes, it's weird that you even get the choice to do hers first and not, like, fourth.
Yeah, it should have kind of been locked behind the other routes, I think.
Yeah, like, the golden route's locked behind the other four, but Sylvie probably should have been locked behind the other three.
Yeah, I agree with that, instead of having Akane locked behind the completion of one.
Yeah, which is weird because I'm 90% sure based on her and her social circle, she wouldn't spoil anything.
No, probably not. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if her route just kind of splits off from pretty much everything else. I mean, I know she's the side route, so that seems logical. Sorry, Jogasaki, I hope it wasn't us. It probably was.
Well,
あれからで
is
す。
that?
私が庶民というものを見るだけで、湖に蹴り落としたい気分に駆られるようになったのは。
All right, thanks for answering my question before I asked it.
That was my bad.
No, I mean, actually, she answered it. That's what I was gonna ask. Like, wait, is that why you hate commoners?
Yes, it is.
Is that right?
So what you're saying is, if we just go out to the lake right now and you kick us into the lake, we'll be fine? We'll be square? Is that cool? Or is that not the solution?
まさかとは思うけど、その蹴り落とした男子の名前が市松オーロくんだったり
Oh no.
Oh, look at the time! I got a date with some cup ramen. No way! I've never done anything like.
A core memory. I hadn't. Right? This was back when we were kids, so I couldn't remember. Big shock.
ご心配なく、やった人間の名は覚えています。
Oh, thank God.
市松さんではありませんわ。
Not Ichi. Not Ichi. That right.
It was Torio.
やった人間の名は高藤連十郎。一生忘れませんわ。
It was not Torio. Oh, soup's done.
他にも何人かいた気がするけれど、あの男子が主犯だったのは覚えてます。
高藤くん。知り合い
I've never met that man before in my life.
So we do.
と、そろそろ登校の時間ね。
Jogasaki stood from her seat. Oh, I didn't realize we were sitting.
改めて言っておきたいのだけれど、彼女にはあまり近づかない方がよろしいのでは？あなたたちと彼女じゃ生きる世界が違います。
So what, does this make Noble Academy the multiverse of madness?
どういうこと？
そのままの意味よ。わからないならそれでいいわ。近づかない。それだけ守ってくれれば。
She said her piece without taking any feedback, just like usual, and turned away. Wait, but you set up the conditions that if we avoid her, then what? You'll leave us alone? You'll be nicer to us? Nothing will change?
Will you talk to us more if we leave her alone? Because now I want to go talk to her.
もしあの子に、相馬に手を出すなら、許さないから。
So what you're saying is we shouldn't tell you that we princess carried her back from the rooftop, right? Right, got it. Okay.
庶民とか関係なく、消すから。
Like Arnold Schwarzenegger in the movie Eraser?
Why was I going to mention the exact same movie?
I mean, it fits. She left with that less than pleasant remark. Yeah, a little extreme.
どうしよう。
You have nothing to worry about with me and Ria. Besides, whatever happens between you two is entirely up to Ria.
I was sure that was meant as a threat, but it didn't bother me. I was surprised by her relationship with Ria, but I feel like I could take Jogasaki. I probably can't take Jogasaki.
Look, from a distance, we probably could.
Just snipe her out of existence.
It's like in the series Daredevil, when Daredevil and Bullseye fight, if you give us a few feet of space where we can throw stuff, we're good. If it gets in close, we're probably screwed.
Yeah, that sounds right. It had nothing to do with us and our friendship.
More importantly...
I got out my cell phone. Beep boop bop.
誰にかけるの?
A friend from middle school. Hello, Takato? Yeah, long time no talk. I know this is sudden, but you should be careful when taking any dimly lit streets at night from now on.
The maniac is in the mailbox!
Ah!
綾香もキャンプで一緒だったわよ。
Wait, what now?
と言っても、あまり話さなかったけれど、挨拶だけして、その日の夜には何か事故があったとかで帰ってしまって、逆に記憶に残っているわ。
Oh.
あらあら、ひょっとして忘れていたの?
Maybe.
I feel like we should screenshot that, and that is like the summary of the game.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. It's the tagline. Or could it be that you forgot? Probably.
Your memory is surprisingly ridiculous, Sylvie.
そうかしら。
Well, she does have a good memory. That was something I'd suspected for a while now.
はあ。でも、相馬くんのことは綾香も知らないって言うのよね。残念。
Now that it had come to this, it had started to seem unfair that Sylvie was the only one who didn't know about Ria. Maybe I should try and ask Ria about this again later. Not that I would say anything if she absolutely insisted on keeping a secret.
オーロとシルビー、なんで仲良くなったかずっと謎だったけど、過去ネタかよ。
Maybe, but we don't know it.
The time we spent together in the past is completely irrelevant to how we became such good friends, actually.
だんだんオーロが謎の男に見えてきたよ。
My mystery is so secret, even I don't know what it is. Nice. I like the sound of that.
探ったら一発で分かっちゃいそうなミステリアスだけどね。
Probably.
Huh. She wasn't taking me seriously. I didn't disagree with that assessment, but still. A whole bunch had happened since yesterday. What was there again? The bathhouse incident, which led to the Hamanon Baseball Club discussion, and all this stuff about the relationship between Ria and Reina. The one thing they all shared in common.
ねえねえ、じゃあさ、シルビー。オーロとハマナンの野球部の間で何があったとか知ってる?
Was that Reina had heard all of it. She was discerning of even the slightest change in expression.
ハマナン? 野球のことは全然知らないけれど、オーロ、何かあるの?
Nah.
ああ、シルビーも知らないんじゃ触れない方が良さそうか。
But Cat's kind of out of the bag a little bit on that one.
オッケー。この話はなし。気にしないで。
そう?
She cut the conversation short with her usual flippant attitude. This girl. She was a good person and didn't recklessly stick her nose into other people's business, but she could be pretty thoughtless sometimes.
You're sharp as ever.
いやー、ごめんごめん。
She had apparently noticed my expression when they were talking about the Hamanon Baseball Club yesterday. Even I had to admit that I had a sour look on my face at that time.
知られたくなかったけ?
Something that never happened.
ごめん。じゃあもう触れない。
Please. I want to continue being friends with you, but I'll have to use that power if you try and dredge up my past. In accordance with my contract, of course.
Is this one of your 77 secret abilities?
ほう。ではあの名役は貴様の中に
Drop it. That's also part of the past.
なら触れないでおこう。俺も面倒は背負い込みたくないんでな。
Reina played along with our delusional jokes. As always, Reina was adeptly considerate and a huge lifesaver. As far as I was concerned, this was done and over with. It was a part of my life I didn't want to remember. But I hadn't yet realized at this point that I had already made one massive mistake. The lid on my past that should have been tightly shut had already been partially opened.
もしもし。おお、高藤久しぶりだな。どうしたよ。
We fucked up.
オーロから電話
Yeah, we did. We probably should have just let him get assassinated in an alley.
Yep.
金色ラブリッチェ。
This is an issue every year, but doesn't it feel like the temperature shift is going crazy from November into December?
わかるかもです。11月はまだ秋っていうか、寒くはなってきても、まだポカポカ晴れてる感じがあるけど、12月はもう寒いって感じしますよね。
Well, it's finally happened, folks. We've been reduced to small talk about the weather.
Exactly. November is cold and sunny, while December is chilly and cloudy.
この国に来たばかりの身としてはよくわかりませんが、そんなに変わるのですか？
Yeah, I'm sure it doesn't change that rapidly, but December always felt kind of gloomy.
Oh, you mean it's not like that one episode of Rugrats where there was that transition where it was just like spring, summer, fall, winter. Crazy weather we've been having this week, huh?
12月といえばクリスマス。つまり、夜だからそこからのイメージもあるかもですね。
Makes sense. Either way, the whole month gives off this cold, wintry vibe, and that's not just from the temperature dropping like a rock.
It was now December 2nd, which marked the beginning of the frigid month.
さ、先輩、ラジオ体操の時間です。
After all of this premise we just had saying how cold it is, you really want us to go outside?
6 in the morning sure is rough.
The sun hadn't even come out yet. The sky was a dark shade of violet and didn't have that morning feel to it yet.
東雲と言うんでしたか。朝らしい朝じゃありませんの。
Exactly.
Why are you awake?
Nah, the sun really is necessary to call it morning. A morning without the sun isn't morning at all.
It's very profound.
Point being, it's not morning yet, which means it's still nighttime and I should be in bed.
He's like a bird with a blanket covering his cage.
起きてー。
Akane-chan, you're always so full of energy.
お日様は空じゃなくて、先輩の心にあるものですよ。さあ、心を燃やして、朝のお日様を呼びましょう。
The sun has been inside you the whole time.
I just hope we don't get burned.
ファイトです、先輩。
What, sleep?
Yeah, fiery for sure.
茜ですから。
With that, they proceeded to drag me out of bed whether I liked it or not, and I did not. And when I waited for the sun to come out as we danced around in the cold,
I used up all my energy this morning.
お疲れ様でした
I wish I could at least rest on the weekends.
today was Saturday.
Saturday.
It's alright for fighting. As slight as it was, even Mina-chan was less heavy-handed about etiquette on days off, but
土曜日だからこそ、お休みだからこそ、朝から元気出していきましょういつも心にバーニングですよ、先輩
I admire your fervor, Akane, but I do not have that same spirit.
I admire your fervor, but it is something I
いい
could
休
never
日が
have.
送れると思いませんか
I do think it's great how spirited you are.
Only because there were few people with so much excess energy. Put her inside of a nuclear plant and she could power Japan.
おはよう。
Like her.
Yep. That was when Reina came down.
Well, this is rare. A certain someone who normally sleeps until noon on her days off is awake.
I could feel the heat radiating from Akane and I got so uncomfortable I woke up.
昨日ダイエットに夕飯抜いたらお腹空いちゃって。
おはようございます、レイナ先輩
おいっす、あかねちん。ちょいちょい、こっちおいで。
はい
ピトッとな。
She touched the nape of Akane-chan's neck without warning.
手冷たいっしょ。
Oh.
冷たいですよびっくりした
顔を洗うときさ、給湯器の調子が悪くて全然あったかいの出てこなくて、冷たい水で洗ったらこうよ。てい。
It's the icy hands of death.
逃げるな！次はそのぬくぬくそうなお腹を触らせるのだ！
Maybe Akane-chan's weak to the cold since she's a fire type?
Our joke has come full circle.
What's funny is I was actually about to make that joke again.
Apparently the story writers were on the same page. Or we were on the same page. They came up with it first.
みたいね。でも夏とかは水ぶっかけてやると喜んでるから、水属性には強そう。
She just has multiple types.
No, really what it is it was Splash.
Ah. Nothing happened.
Weak to the cold but strong to water. Oof, she'd be an annoying enemy if this were an RPG.
あの二属性ってなんで分かれてるのかわかんないよね。
Ice and water's not the same. And wait, she splashed her underclassmen in the summer?
I didn't realize you two were so close.
だね。
レイナ先輩は頼りになる先輩です
No, they actually seem like two people
レ
who
イナ
get
先
along
輩の
great.
場合、自分が特別というより、寮の人間全員と親しいですけど。
Yeah, that sounds right.
それもそっか。
Not only was she popular with her own classmates, but students in other grades as well.
でもやっぱりあかねちんとは特別仲いい気がするな。
Run, Akane, she's gonna touch you with her cold hands again.
ふふ。おいで。お姉様が可愛がってあげる。
先輩。
Akane-chan blushed and approached Reina as she beckoned her over. It's a trap. Plop.
冷たい
I was right.
お腹あったかい。
待て
I'm beginning to think everybody else is also on Reina's route.
ええやろな、ええやろ。ちょっとお腹に手入れるだけや、それだけや。
助けて
なあ、スケベしようや。
Reina really did get along well with everyone. It did seem like she favored individuals with more animated reactions and kept them close at hand. I mean, it makes sense.
The 5 events of track and field?
To surpass and meet the boss, you must beat them all. Our conversation led to the three of us, Akane-chan included, hanging out for the day.
なんだっけ、陸上って7種だか8種だかあってその全部に出る系のやつ？
それの簡易版ですね。私、短距離が専門でやってるんですけど、他の競技にも出てみないかって言われてて。具体的には、800メートル、1500メートル、走り幅跳び、ハードル、あと、砲丸投げ。
Well, damn.
Shot put.
砲丸だけは、ちょっと自信ないです。
Akane-chan did have a rather small frame.
他のも何気にきつそうだけどね、短距離の子には。
You just want to give them all a try, right?
はい。結果はともかく、やるだけやっとけって感じで。
This was just my guess, but I bet they were short-handed in the other events and wanted to bolster their ranks.
オッケー、付き合おう。タイムとか測ればいいんよね。
ありがとうございます。
With that, we headed for the track. Incidentally, if you wondered about Akane-chan's skill level,
てりゃーてりゃりゃーてりゃ
she's good in short bursts but doesn't have endurance. Alright.
And she
Just keeps going.
and she never came back.
She's not quite the Energizer Bunny.
はい、ゴール。800向きではなさそうだね。
はい。そうかもってさ。
You know, it actually makes sense when you think about it because she's all fire. So I'm sure she doesn't have a concept of like pacing.
No, probably not. She just bursts all of her energy out in one fell swoop and then she's done.
続いて1500メートル。
Oh,
Why?
That's not gonna go well.
てりゃりゃーてりゃ。
Quick, somebody get her some Gatorade or some high quality H2O.
Why does she go hiya whenever she runs?
She's the type that has to announce her moves.
気合い入れてるんだろうけど。
苦しい。苦しい。
Just
You know, I really don't think you need to say that part.
Perhaps if you were focused more on breathing and less on narrating what is happening, you might be okay.
She's whittling away at her stamina for no reason, though.
She put all of her points into vigor, but none into endurance.
そうでなくても長距離に向いた体力じゃなさそうなのに。はい、ゴール。小学生の中でちょっと早い子くらいのタイムだね。
Oof.
じゃあ、長距離は、向いて てないかもです。
She may have the stamina, but wasn't pacing herself very well. Akane-chan really was a clumsy girl. Oh boy, that's gonna be fun for the hurdles then, isn't it?
Oh no, it is gonna be amazing.
続いてハードル。
Oh no.
I bet she just plows through every single one of them.
Bam, 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 bam. I'm the juggernaut, bitch!
てりゃー
She just trips over the first one.
I don't even think she trips, I think she literally Yep, she just bulldozes all of them. She's like an American football lineman.
Slam, 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 slam.
どうでした？
I don't think that's how hurdles work.
タイム以前に全部蹴り倒すんじゃ論外かな。続いて走り幅跳び。
とりゃー
Thud.
いけない。尻餅ついちゃう。ここで後ろに倒れたりしたら、そんなの付き合ってくださってる先輩たちに顔向けできない。
She just twists herself like a cat in midair and lands on her feet.
負けるな、あかね。倒れるときは前のめりへ。倒れることを。
Oh no.
She just face plants.
Yep.
恐れる
Cero miedo.
なあかねち
Yep. She went face first.
Her face plunged into the sandbox, and she effectively slid along her face for some reason. Ow.
どうでした？
Well, you got an exfoliating treatment for your face.
記録動向より怪我してない？
怪我なんていいんです。
Ah,
私、
so she's a fire ground type. Got it. Wait, no, that wouldn't explain the water.
この記録に命かけてます。
Wouldn't they deduct points for landing on your face?
I don't know.
Huh.
これただの練習。
Another lost cause. If she took practice this seriously, then it boded poorly for her future.
Okay then, we've determined that you have 0 talent in 4 of the 5 events.
まあまあ、800メートルは配分を覚えれば悪くなさそうだって。
All that leaves is the shot put. But
先生もいないのに砲丸は出してもらえないよね。
Oh, yeah.
that
すい
makes
ま
sense.
せん。
This was one event we weren't able to test out. Shot puts were obviously dangerous, so we couldn't borrow them without proper supervision. Otherwise, we end up breaking half the windows in the academy, like when the power went out.
一応、こんなものは借りられたんですけど。
It's
An
an-
anvil.
Oh, I was thinking an English textbook.
ゴムだね。
The collected works of William Shakespeare.
It's light, but similar in size. We'll use it to check her form.
The one thing she was able to bring with her was a light ball intended for practice purposes.
これで何メートルくらい飛ばすと、砲丸なら何メートルってデータがあるので、とりあえずこれでやってみます。
Akane, are you some sort of sports savant?
That actually
Gamare!
makes sense.
はい。
Akane-chan lined up and checked her form. Yank. Tug!
砲丸投げってさ、フォーム独特だよね。
You snap your waist and wrists, and the combined force sends it flying.
As opposed to the javelin, which relied heavily on well-rounded physical capabilities, the addition of a proficient form played a large role. To that end, the individual had to be completely devoted to perfecting said form. Those who could practice diligently would perform strongly. In that sense, Akane-chan may have a knack for this.
行きます。
Judging from the music, that may be true. After adjusting her form, Akane-chan took a gentle step forward. Clench. She put every joint in her body to work, and generated massive centrifugal force with minimal movement.
いや
Team Rocket's blasting off again! Ding ding! Whoosh!
Muscule beaver whoosh!
It went flying!
ーうわ
Hi.
Good form. Her liveliness seemed to transfer into the ball and sent it flying high overhead. Whiff.
あかねち
Before it came falling straight back down onto her head.
That was a really good setup, I'll be honest.
Wow. Oh, they got us.
Huh. Guess it went straight up.
大丈夫
Yeah.
びっくりした。
Good lord, she's resilient.
何ですか今の。鳥？隕石ですか？私の記録は？
It was the training bag from Super Smash Bros.
Ugh, no need to take score. You're banned from ever attempting that again.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if she did that with a real shot put, she'd be dead. There it is. She probably would have been dead if that had been a real shot put.
頭がじわじわ痛くなってきました。
Sayayay, duck.
はいはい、タタンだったね。痛いの痛いの。飛んでけ
Don't pat her on the head, that's gonna make it worse. With that, we waited for Akane-chan to settle down and for her pain to dissipate.
私、びっくりするほど才能ないんですね。
Just with these roughly 5 events.
There.
I wouldn't so much call her talentless as clumsy. What should I do now that she was so upset?
It actually takes a supreme amount of talent to throw a ball straight up.
Yeah, it does. I feel like if she could just, adjust her trajectory a little bit, she would actually do fantastically.
Mm-hmm.
Or she might kill a bird. With that thought in mind, Reina picked up the rubber ball.
砲丸投げってこういうのなんだ。やったことないな。
体育じゃあまりやらないですよね。
どうやって投げるの？
投げるというか、押す感じです。慣れてきたら途中でちょっとねじってみたり。
Reina listened intently to Akane-chan's explanation.
こう？
こうです。こうやって腰がグイッと。
変なとこ触らないでよ。あかねちんのエッチ。
そんなことは。
じゃあ今ここ触ったのは何なんだ？ほれほれ、ここを触るのはエッチだろ？
先輩、吐き払い弱いです。
For as down as Akane-chan had been, it didn't take much to distract her. Good going, Reina. Her knack for showing consideration for others had saved me plenty of times too.
じゃあ行くぞ
Now that that she had learned how to do it, Reina tried her luck at the shot put.
とう
Ooh, nice form.
レイナ先輩って何事も飲み込みがいいんですよ。
Like an amoeba. She was the clever type. Plop.
はーい、ただいまの記録。7メーター30。これはいいの？悪いの？
I have no clue in terms of rubber shot puts.
すいません。私もそっちの記録は調べてこないと。
なんだよ。
I personally didn't think it was half bad.
じゃあ、あとオーロやって。3人で記録取って1番決めよ。
Me?
I had been lounging around this whole time, so, why not? I headed over to the line.
先輩の記録、楽しみですね。
ねえ。
ところで、レイナ先輩、3人で記録取ってって、
Negative
私
1.
の記録は。
当然0メートル。
ひどいん。
Is that the sound of me throwing it, or?
It's either that or you're practicing your Russian.
Duh.
It's probably the sound of you throwing it.
Yeet!
I gave it a throw. I yeeted the ball. But it was no good. I didn't even know how to throw it and aimed a little too high. The ball just threw up into the sky without covering any distance.
Still, though, I wouldn't throw like the sort of klutz who's a concentrated mass of all the klutzes in the world, an unparalleled demigod of klutzes throughout all of time and space, who'd toss a shot put straight back onto their head.
Ow.
She's actually the combination of two different klutzes who did the fusion dance, and then it went wrong.
So it's like she became,
Like Fat Gogeta,
Yep.
or Skinny Gogeta.
ugh, I think skinny one is worse. Thwomp.
わっ！
レイナ先輩とほぼ同じとこ。
Huh. It fell quite close to where the last one landed.
I should have checked my form first. Can't believe I threw as far as a girl.
Definitely a questionable distance. It did land a little bit past Reina's for the record, but it was surprising how close they were.
ああ。
Reina measured the distance for us.
How'd I do?
ただいまの記録。7メーター29センチ。私の勝ち！
What?
You gotta be kidding me.
先輩の方がちょっとだけ向こうに落ちたように見えましたけど。
She cheated.
知らない。29センチ。
Whoosh. Reina had erased where my ball had landed with her foot. Aww.
You're more petty than I thought.
あんなギリギリで勝たれたらムカつくじゃん。勝つならもっとちゃんと勝てよ。
One more throw. Well, sorry about that.
第2投行くよ！
Well, there you go.
We're doing it again.
It appeared Reina wasn't at all satisfied by the results. May as well play along. I fetched the ball. Reina took her position at the line.
せー。
But her form was different from the last time. Swoosh. It flew like crazy. The ball steadily bridged the distance, coming down a ways past where our throws had landed earlier. But
You just threw it like normal.
知らない。
Just because it was a rubber ball, she grabbed it and hurled it like it was a baseball.
Oh, yeah, two can play that game.
You wouldn't clear any distance that way with a real shot put, which proved how poor her form was and defeated the entire purpose of the exercise.
はい、ただいまの記録。21メートルどや
投げ方はともかく、かなり飛ばしますね。
Oh boy, we're about to give ourselves away big time.
Your reflexes are the real deal.
A 15-meter throw was a decent average in girls softball, so that was an excellent score.
はい、お次はオーロさん。砲丸ですよ。ちゃんと投げてくださいよ。
Oh, bite me.
Why you?
Since she broke the rules, it'd probably be cool if I played fair and square now and broke her score. But it obviously would be impossible for me to hit 21 meters if I threw it the correct way. She left me no choice. I took the ball and stood in line. This called for...
Kaioken!
Times 10. Clench. I gripped it hard.
こらこらその投げ方は反則だぞ
Oh yeah, you're one to talk.
Like you're one to talk.
そんな投げ方で勝って恥ずかしくないのか
I am not. Well, this put us on equal footing. A shallow victory would probably be boring. But...
Huh!
Whoosh.
嘘
I used my shoulder as a catapult to pitch a long throw at full force. I hadn't done this in forever, and my shoulder ached a little. But it went the distance just like it had in the past. Crash, and broke a window. The ball crashed into the fence and bounced back in our direction.
ただいまの記録。測りに行くのめんどい。
Oh.
That's how it should be.
I could eyeball the distance from here to the fence at 70 meters at least. Given just how badly she had lost, Reina kept gnashing her teeth in frustration, unable to complain about the broken rules or otherwise. Oh, somebody's a sore loser.
すごいです先輩
何今のもう、こいつ本気かよ
No, I'm Ouro.
There are times when a man must win no matter what. This was one of those times.
Dun dun.
今ではないって絶対。
Reina smiled wryly. But after taking another look at the distance, her smile stiffened a bit.
元野球部だったんだ。
Ah.
Say what?
I guess it was no surprise she figured me out. The average distance a man could throw a softball was around 30 meters. My score was the sort that only a guy who knew how to pitch could produce.
あのでっかいワセリンの謎が解けたわ。
Yes, that is what solves it.
I was about to say, you've seen our porn box.
More or less.
Petroleum jelly was commonly used in sports clubs, but the baseball club in particular consumed it like crazy. It wasn't worth keeping it a secret anymore, and I finally spilled the beans. Yes. There weren't all that many things to hide from Reina.
じゃあ最後は私です
She throws it the same way and still manages to hit herself in the head.
You're gonna do it?
だって2投ずつだから私もあと1投
危ないよまた頭に落ちてきたらどうするの
She's right, Akane-chan. It could cause irreversible damage depending on where you're hit.
なんで頭に落とすの前提なんですか
your lack of track record. After this and that happened, not only did we try the shot put, but we jumped over hurdles and simply ran with Akane-chan around the track. We had a full, healthy day.
なんかもう日暮れてきてない？
本当ですね。空が私色です。
Alright. This is a lovely shade of Akane.
いやー、小学生でもないのに一日中外で遊ぶとか。
Honestly, she does have the facial expression she should have if she just said that.
That is true.
Yeah.
The whole day felt like the sort of day you'd have as an elementary schooler out in the sticks. It had been fun, but...
isn't it about time we called it a day? It's starting to get cold anyway.
だね。カラスが鳴くから帰りましょうって時間だわ。あかねちん、空がもうこんな色になっているよ。
私色ですね。
You said it again.
I heard you the first time.
レナ先輩。いつも優しい市松先輩が、無でも見るような、なんとも言えない目をしています。
大丈夫。まだいけるはず。空がこんな色だよ、あかねちん。
私色ですね。
Is it fun for you to tease your underclassmen?
そんなつもりはねえんだけどさ。
But it's what you're doing anyway. You're gonna make her cry. Oh, not good. She was teary-eyed. Better play along. Oh, hi.
Why do we get a choice?
Well, you know we have to say it's totally your color.
Yeah.
Or do you want to say the other one?
No, it's totally what we gotta choose.
It's totally your color.
Now I get it. The kanji in your name means matter red, and the sky is the same color. That certainly would make it Akane-chan's color, huh? You're a total laugh riot, Akane-chan. Shoot me. Wow, you're such a fun girl. It's because your color is matter red?
Too much. Too much. Why are you looking at me like that?
オーロ、後輩をいじめて楽しいかい？
Don't you give me that shit.
No. We deserve it.
You got it all wrong.
何やってんだお前ら。
What are you doing here?
Making asses of ourselves. Hi.
この寒い中を元気だこと。
You're the one wearing short shorts. Ria seemed to have surmised the gist of what was going on and headed into the school building without another word. You already missed golden time, though.
びっくりした。
She has that effect on people.
Akane just froze in place, like, she can't see me if I don't move.
Her vision's based on movement.
今の、相馬先輩ですよね。1階の。
Oh yeah, I guess you guys really haven't had any interactions, have you?
Yeah.
話してるとこ、初めて見ました。
and live. Akane-chan had turned timid. That's how it was?
I'm guessing you're scared of delinquents.
かもです。暴力とか振るう人じゃないのは知ってるんですけど。
You know, I really guess this is how everyone who doesn't, like, really know her reacts, actually.
Yeah, I think it's one of those situations where her reputation makes her seem a lot worse than she actually is.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta love that rumor mill. She was trembling. These were likely the honest feelings an average student had for Ria. I had no intention of sticking up for her. While it was true she wouldn't go as far as to be violent, she was definitely still a brutal, scary person, and we have been punched in the stomach multiple times by her.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, this was definitely how it was. Not the type that was likely to get along with Jogasaki. Oh, it's coming back full circle. I said goodbye to Akane-chan and Reina and headed after Ria. But...
リアちゃんと話すの?
For a second I thought she said, are you going to stalk Ria-chan? And it's like, well, kind of.
I mean, not on this route. Well, yeah.
オッケー、私も行く。この前は邪魔が入ったリベンジ。
No!
Revenge for what?
気になるでしょ? 膝のこととか。
No, I guess.
Reina seemed to want to talk to her too and ended up tagging along. This really put me on the spot.
にしても、どこ行っちゃったのかな、リアちゃん。てか、休みに何しに来たんだろう。
I knew where Ria was. However, I promised to keep that spot on the rooftop a secret. I would obviously be breaking that promise if I brought Reina with me. Oh, what should I do? While I worried about that...
何してんだ、お前ら。
Admiring the chandelier in the background. It's nice.
お、みっけー。
Ria popped out from a nearby restroom.
Hey!
She seemed to immediately piece together my predicament and shrugged her shoulders, seemingly exasperated.
なんか用かよ。
Then she started up the conversation here and now.
この前の怪我、どうなったかなーって。もう治った。見りゃわかんだろ。
Ria flexed and stretched the leg that had been injured.
そっかそっか、そいつはよかった。てめえに関係ねえだろ。俺が怪我しようがなんだろうが。
Sounded like she was in an awful mood today and was acting relatively hostile. She snapped at Reina, who was moderately kind, rather excessively. It obviously wasn't as if Reina didn't understand, and she got a slightly dejected look on her face.
まあ、うざかったなら謝るけどさ。うぜえ。
Ooh.
オッケー、ごめんよ。
Ria seemed irritable, and her mood was worsening by the second toward Reina, who was as lighthearted as could be. The mood was awful and spelled trouble. Maybe I should step in? I considered it, but then...
でもなんだ心配は心配だよ。ちゅうわけで、膝見せて膝。ほれほれ、こっちこっち触んなてめてか、痛めたのは右だよ。なんで左触るんだよ。そうだっけ。どっちの足かも忘れてんじゃねえか。どこが心配してんだ。まあいいや、触りたいだけだから。ほれほれほれ。やめろ、こら、うおーい、ったく うんうん。暴れても平気なくらいには回復してるね。
Reina cackled. Ah, she chuckled.
うぜえな。
I didn't say anything.
She somehow managed to keep up outward appearances, but
うざい上等。こっちはうざさで損したことないもんね。
Reina laughed it off. Didn't look like there was any need for me to step in. Reina's whimsical nature had drawn Ria in before she knew what had happened. Ria could have ignored her and left, but ended up chatting with her instead. She was angry, but had a fun time talking. Come to think of it, Reina was the best in our class at making friends, and placating bad situations too. No matter how difficult the person was, she never made any critical errors. Yet. The sun set while we were living it up in the hallway, so we ended up heading home together.
Tough luck back there, huh?
たくうぜえ。てめえが変なの連れてくるから。
Hey, we didn't bring her, she just followed us.
She brought herself.
Yeah.
私のこと？
No, we're talking
You're still
about...
here?
Of course she is.
他に誰がいんだよ。うみーん。こいつほんと殴っていいか？
So she really is Dee Dee.
Yeah, I guess she is. I mean, you can try whacking her. It'll be like playing whack-a-mole, though.
Now.
おい。こいつ絶対に例の場所連れてくんなよ。来たらまずてめえから突き落とすからな。
Now be careful.
Of getting pushed off the roof, of not bringing her there? We need
You'll be
clarification.
dead.
We hadn't gone as far as the roof today either, for that matter.
たく。
Ria's expression was mellow, all said and done. She didn't make faces like this when we were alone together, though. Reina was one impressive smooth talker.
Uh-oh.
Hi.
あやか、どうかした？何見てるの？
I sense a disturbance in the force.
いいえ。
The three of us headed back to the dorm again today.
お前、最近ずっとあいつと一緒だよな。
I mean, we are on her route, so it makes sense. Ria pointed to Reina with her jaw. What? How?
The Crimson Chin!
We were together that often?
Maybe we are together a lot now that you mention it.
好きなの？
Huh?
なんでもない。忘れろ。
This interferes with my plans.
It's not nothing? How could I forget now that I've heard that?
Did I like her? Did I have feelings for Reina? Well, yeah, I did like her as a friend, but Ria obviously meant it that way.
I don't really feel that way about her.
シルビーの時もそう言うじゃん、お前。
Well, but we're not on her route.
Well, I also liked her back in the past.
Yeesh, what was with her? I only considered Sylvia and Reina friends. What was she getting jealous for? I mean, I did think they were both wonderful women to fall in love with. But I had no plans of pursuing romance whatsoever, yet. I hadn't gotten that something else I've devoted myself to out of my system yet. Uh-oh. Ria and Reina's voices instantly faded away as a deep male voice called out to me. Since that voice was something special to me. Because it was something else entirely. Completely different from those of Ria and Reina, my female friends.
見つけた。本当だ。ノーブル学園にいたなんて。
Security!
誰？
Nobody.
あれ？どっかで見た顔。
No, you haven't. That was another timeline.
メゴチンがスマホで。え、嘘。1億円の島くん？
I had forgotten to mention this to Ria earlier. At this point in time, I was in no mood to find a prospective partner. Namely because I hadn't yet settled a score from my past that stood in the way.
Kiniro Loveriche.
Alright, I think this is probably a good spot to end this episode. On quite the dramatic twist. Dun dun dun! Alright, so I think we're getting to the crux of the issue for this particular route, or at least are working our... I don't know, it seems a little bit early for us to actually be hitting that, so I don't know. Maybe there's some more build-up.
Or it plays a role throughout the entire thing.
That's entirely possible. It could be kind of like Sylvie's route where there were sort of multiple hurdles along the way, and since we're not Akane-chan, we can't just bulldoze through them. But we'll see what happens in the next episode. I'm really curious to see, now that we've encountered Torio, how this plays out. But we hope you all have enjoyed this episode, and we hope to see you in the next one. For now, we are the Bridge Boys, signing off.